You've probably heard bananas are healthy, especially in the morning. But what if I told you that for people over 60, eating bananas at the wrong time could silently wreak havoc on your blood sugar digestion and even your heart? Shocking, right? In this video, we'll uncover why that harmless morning banana might be the last thing your aging body needs and what you should be eating instead to stay energized, pain-free, and thriving well into your 70s and 80s. You've always been told that bananas are the perfect breakfast food, convenient, nutritious, and full of potassium. But for older adults, especially those over 60, there's a hidden side to this fruit that could be working against you the moment you wake up. Let's start with something most seniors don't realize. Bananas are incredibly high in natural sugars, particularly glucose, fructose, and sucrose. While they're natural, these sugars hit your bloodstream quickly, especially when eaten alone on an empty stomach. For younger people, the body can typically compensate, but after 60, your metabolism slows down, your insulin response becomes less efficient, and your pancreas can't regulate blood sugar the way it used to. The result that seemingly harmless banana could cause a blood sugar spike, followed by a crash leading to dizziness, fatigue, brain fog, and even irritability by mid-morning. In fact, a 2017 study in the journal Clinical Interventions in Aging noted that older adults are more prone to reactive hypoglycemia. Sudden dips in blood sugar after eating high glycemic foods without protein or fiber. But it doesn't stop there. Eating bananas on an empty stomach may also trigger digestive problems in older adults. Bananas are high in fermentable carbohydrates, also known as FODMAPs. These compounds can cause bloating, gas, and discomfort in people with sensitive digestion, which becomes more common with age due to slowed gastrointestinal motility and reduced enzyme production. Worse still, the magnesium content in bananas, while normally beneficial, can become problematic first thing in the morning. According to research from the American Geriatric Society, seniors who consume high levels of magnesium on an empty stomach, particularly those with low stomach acid or certain medications, may experience heart palpitations, lightheadedness, or diarrhea. That's because the sudden influx of magnesium can interfere with calcium absorption and electrolyte balance if the body isn't fully awake yet. And here's something few doctors mention. Bananas lack the balancing nutrients needed to stabilize energy in the morning. No healthy fats, very little protein, virtually no fiber if overripe. That means eating a banana by itself is like lighting a match. Quick energy, then it's gone. And as your body tries to compensate, your cortisol levels may rise, increasing inflammation and stress. So what does this mean for your health? If you're starting your day with just a banana, you could be setting yourself up for blood sugar, chaos, digestive issues, and low energy, all of which become harder to bounce back from after 60. But don't worry, bananas aren't the enemy. The timing and pairing are what really matter. And coming up, you'll learn exactly when to eat them and what to eat with them to make sure you're getting all the benefits without the hidden damage. Stick around because the next reason is even more surprising, and it has to do with your blood pressure and a common morning mistake that most people never question. You've probably heard that bananas are great for lowering blood pressure, and it's true to an extent. They're packed with potassium, a mineral that helps relax blood vessel walls, flush out excess sodium, and reduce overall vascular tension. But what if your blood pressure isn't high? What if it's already low or unstable? Here's the shocking truth. For seniors over 60, eating bananas in the morning can actually make blood pressure problems worse, especially if you're already on medication. Let's break it down. As we age, our baroreceptor reflex, the body's internal blood pressure balancing system, becomes less responsive. That's why many older adults experience orthostatic hypotension, sudden drops in blood pressure when they stand up too quickly. It causes lightheadedness, dizziness, and even falls. According to the Journal of Clinical Hypertension, more than 20% of adults over 65 experience these drops regularly, and the risk increases when potassium levels surge too quickly. Bananas contain a hefty dose of potassium, up to 422 ml in a single fruit. If you eat one on an empty stomach, it can rapidly lower your blood pressure before your body's had a chance to stabilize after waking up. Combine that with a morning blood pressure pill or a diuretic, you've just created the perfect storm. In fact, studies from the American Heart Association warn that combining potassium-rich foods with ACE inhibitors or diuretics, both common in senior blood pressure management, can intensify hypotensive effects and even lead to a condition called hyperkalemia, where potassium builds up too high in the blood. Symptoms include irregular heartbeat weakness, nausea, and in extreme cases, hospitalization. Even without medication, seniors with naturally low blood pressure may experience fatigue, weakness, or brain fog after consuming potassium-rich foods early in the day. That's because potassium doesn't work alone. It needs sodium, magnesium, and calcium to stay in balance. If one of these minerals is depleted, say from sweating, fasting overnight, or taking medication, potassium's effect becomes exaggerated. Here's something else to consider. Bananas are vasodilators. They widen the blood vessels. This is normally a good thing. But in the delicate circulatory systems of older adults, widening blood vessels without enough fluid volume to support them can result in lower pressure, not better circulation. That's why some seniors feel worse after eating a banana in the morning. Dizzy, lightheaded, or suddenly weak. And yet most people never connect the dots. They blame fatigue on aging, dizziness on dehydration, when in reality, it may be your morning banana acting like a silent disruptor. So what's the solution? If you have low or fluctuating blood pressure, or you're on meds that influence potassium levels, the timing of your banana matters. Try pairing it with a protein source like yogurt, nuts, or eggs, and eat it mid-morning or with lunch instead of first thing. This slows down potassium absorption and minimizes its impact on your system. You don't have to cut bananas out of your life, but you do need to respect how powerful this fruit really is, especially after 60, when every nutrient has a bigger impact than we realize. Coming up, a surprising link between bananas and acid reflux, and why many seniors unknowingly worsen their digestive symptoms every morning without even realizing it. Here's something most people wouldn't expect from a fruit as mild as a banana. For many older adults, eating it first thing in the morning could be a major acid reflux trigger, especially if you're already prone to GERD, bloating, or upper abdominal discomfort. Let's start with a quick look at the digestive system after 60. As we age, stomach acid production naturally declines, a condition known as hypochlorhydria. While this might sound like a relief for heartburn sufferers, it's actually the opposite. Low stomach acid means food stays in the stomach longer, ferments, and creates pressure that pushes acid back into the esophagus. That pressure often feels like heartburn, chest tightness, or that sour taste you get after breakfast. Now here's where bananas come in. Most people assume bananas are alkaline and therefore safe for acid reflux, but the truth is more complex. Bananas are rich in soluble fiber and natural sugars, which can ferment rapidly in a sluggish digestive system, especially on an empty stomach. This fermentation produces gas, bloating, and upward pressure, all of which can worsen reflux symptoms. In fact, a 2016 study published in the journal Gut revealed that individuals with impaired motility, or acid reflux, experienced more frequent symptoms when eating high FODMAP fruits, including ripe bananas. FODMAPs are fermentable carbohydrates that produce gas as they break down, and bananas, especially the overripe ones, are full of them. And if you're combining your morning banana with coffee, tea, or acidic fruit juice, you've just created a recipe for digestive disaster. Caffeine relaxes the lower esophageal sphincter, the muscle that's supposed to keep acid in your stomach. So when you eat a fermentable fruit like a banana and wash it down with hot coffee, the weakened sphincter can't do its job. That's why many seniors experience silent reflux, no burning, but lots of throat clearing, coughing, hoarseness, or mucus in the morning. Even more, bananas contain amines, naturally occurring compounds that can trigger histamine reactions in sensitive individuals. This can lead to inflammation in the gut lining, further irritating the esophagus and worsening reflux over time. What does all this mean? If you often wake up with a sore throat, stuffy sinuses, or a tight chest and your breakfast includes a banana, you might want to reconsider your routine, especially if you're over 60 when digestive resilience isn't what it used to be. Here's a safer approach. Eat bananas later in the day, preferably after a balanced meal, and choose slightly underripe bananas instead of overly ripe ones. They contain fewer fermentable sugars and are less likely to trigger reflux. And never pair bananas with acidic beverages first thing in the morning. It's a small shift, but one that could bring huge relief for seniors battling morning discomfort without ever realizing the culprit was hiding in plain sight. And we're not done yet. In the next section, we'll uncover the shocking connection between bananas and nutrient imbalances, and how this fruit, when eaten too frequently, may block your body from absorbing key minerals needed for healthy aging. Bananas are often praised for their nutritional content, and it's true they provide potassium, vitamin B6, and some fiber. But what few people realize is that eating bananas too often, especially in the morning, can actually interfere with your body's ability to absorb other critical nutrients that matter more as you age. Let's talk about calcium and magnesium, two minerals essential for strong bones, steady nerves, relaxed muscles, and proper heart rhythm. After 60, your body becomes less efficient at absorbing these minerals naturally. But when bananas are eaten frequently, or first thing in the day, they may actually disrupt the delicate mineral balance your body relies on. Why it starts with potassium dominance. Bananas are potassium-rich, but potassium doesn't work alone. It needs to stay in balance with magnesium, calcium, and sodium. If you flood your system with potassium without consuming enough of the other minerals, your body shifts into a compensatory mode, prioritizing potassium handling while neglecting the absorption or retention of magnesium and calcium. This mineral imbalance can lead to subtle but impactful symptoms like muscle cramps in the legs, especially at night, brittle nails or bones, fatigue or brain fog, heart palpitations, or arrhythmias. And if you're already taking calcium or magnesium supplements in the morning, which many seniors do, eating a banana too close to those supplements may actually reduce their effectiveness. A 2018 study in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry found that high dietary potassium intake, when not accompanied by adequate magnesium, altered magnesium transport and retention in older adults. Simply put, too much potassium at the wrong time may compete with other minerals for absorption and cellular uptake. But there's more. Bananas also contain phytates and oxalates, naturally occurring plant compounds that, while not harmful on their own, can bind to minerals like calcium and iron, forming complexes that the body can't absorb. These compounds aren't present in extremely high quantities in bananas, but if you're eating them daily, especially as your first meal, the cumulative effect may matter, particularly if your diet is already low in those nutrients. And here's something surprising. If you're drinking a calcium-fortified juice or milk with your banana in the morning, you might be sabotaging both. That's because bananas' rapid digesting sugars can speed up gastric emptying, giving your digestive system less time to absorb nutrients and causing that calcium to pass through unused. So what's the takeaway? It's not that bananas are bad, but when consumed frequently and alone, especially during a time when your body is trying to regulate essential minerals, they can cause more harm than good. For seniors whose bones are already thinning, nerves are more sensitive, and circulation depends heavily on mineral balance. This can be a hidden roadblock to feeling better. The solution: don't eat bananas within 30-60 minutes of taking calcium or magnesium supplements. Avoid combining bananas with high oxalate foods in the same meal. And most importantly, pair bananas with a mineral-rich food like chia pudding, almond butter, or a calcium-fortified protein shake, instead of eating them solo on an empty stomach. Coming up next, what does your gut really think about bananas? In the next section, we explore the surprising connection between bananas and gut bacteria, and whether they help or harm your microbiome after 60. Bananas have long been marketed as a gut-friendly fruit, soft, easy to digest, and loaded with prebiotic fiber. But here's the part you're not hearing. Depending on your age, gut health status, and timing of consumption, bananas may actually disrupt your digestive system rather than support it. Let's start with what happens to the microbiome after 60. As we age, the diversity of our gut bacteria naturally declines. The good bacteria that support digestion, mood, and immunity are often outnumbered by harmful strains linked to inflammation, slow metabolism, and leaky gut. And unfortunately, many common foods marketed as gut-friendly, including bananas, don't work the same way for older adults as they do for younger bodies. Bananas contain a type of prebiotic fiber called inulin, which feeds beneficial bacteria like bacteria. That sounds great in theory, but if your gut already has an imbalance, which is extremely common in seniors, adding fermentable fiber without the right balance of probiotics can feed the wrong bacteria, leading to bloating, gas, irregular bowel movements, and even low-grade gut inflammation. A 2021 review in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience showed that older adults with altered gut flora were more sensitive to FODMAP-rich foods. And bananas are on that list, especially when overripe. The soft texture and high sugar content make them prime fuel for fermentation, especially when the digestive fire is low in the morning. And here's something even more surprising. Bananas may also reduce stomach acid production over time. Their alkaline nature can temporarily buffer acid, which may sound helpful for acid reflux, but for many seniors, it worsens the root issue. Hypochlorhydria, low stomach acid. This creates an environment where food sits longer, bacteria overgrow, and undigested proteins cause irritation in the gut, lining all contributing to a cascade of gut discomfort. Plus, bananas are often consumed without enough water or digestive enzymes, making the situation worse. If your gut is already sluggish and you're over 60, the added workload of breaking down banana starches can result in post-meal fatigue, burping, nausea, constipation, alternating with diarrhea. And let's not forget the immune system connection. Your gut is home to nearly 70% of your immune cells. Feeding it the wrong kind of prebiotic or feeding it at the wrong time may cause your immune system to remain on low-grade alert, triggering inflammation throughout the body. That can mean joint stiffness, brain fog, or even worsened autoimmune symptoms, all from a fruit you thought was helping you. So what should you do instead? If you're over 60 and serious about gut health, try switching to lower FODMAP fruits in the morning, like kiwi blueberries or papaya. These provide antioxidants and gentle fiber without the fermentation load. Or eat bananas in the afternoon paired with probiotic-rich foods like yogurt or kefir. So the prebiotic fiber has healthy bacteria to work with. And stick to just ripe bananas, firm yellow, and with minimal brown spots to limit excess sugar and fermentation. Bananas can still be part of your diet, but they shouldn't be the first thing you give your gut when it's most vulnerable. In the next section, we'll reveal the unexpected impact bananas can have on joint pain and inflammation, especially in seniors who already struggle with arthritis, swelling, or stiffness. The reason it's hiding in the fruit's biochemistry and no one's talking about it. Arthritis, stiffness, swollen joints. If you're over 60, these symptoms may feel like part of everyday life. But what if your morning banana is quietly making things worse? Let's talk about inflammation, the root of nearly every age-related disease from heart issues to joint degeneration. And while bananas are often promoted as anti-inflammatory, the truth is far more complicated for older adults. Bananas contain a group of compounds known as amines, particularly tyramine and serotonin. While serotonin is best known as a feel-good brain chemical in the gut and bloodstream, it can behave very differently, especially in sensitive individuals. In some people, serotonin and tyramine may trigger the release of histamines, a chemical that promotes inflammation and contributes to joint pain, muscle, stiffness, water retention around the knees or fingers, and even migraines. This reaction isn't extreme for most, but for seniors whose immune and detox systems are already compromised, it adds fuel to an already smoldering fire. In fact, researchers from the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that histamine sensitivity increases with age due to declining enzyme activity in the gut, meaning even foods that once felt fine may now cause noticeable flare-ups. But amines aren't the only concern. Bananas also contain lectins, naturally occurring plant proteins that can bind to the lining of the gut and contribute to what many researchers call leaky gut. While not dangerous for everyone, people with autoimmune conditions or inflammatory arthritis may experience worsened symptoms after eating lectin-rich foods, especially when consumed raw and frequently. Add to this the banana's high glycemic index when fully ripe, and you've got another inflammation trigger: blood sugar spikes. Even if you don't have diabetes, rapid changes in blood sugar can increase circulating cytokines, the molecules responsible for inflammation and pain. That stiffness in your knees, that soreness in your fingers. It may not just be old age. It could be a response to elevated inflammatory markers from something as simple as your breakfast. And if you're pairing bananas with bread cereal or fruit juice, all high sugar or high carb, the effect multiplies. You're setting off a chain reaction that leads to more stiffness, more swelling, and more pain. So what's the solution? First, assess how your body reacts after bananas. Do you notice more stiffness? Do your joints ache mid-morning or after lunch? If yes, try removing bananas for 1 to 2 weeks and see if your symptoms improve. Many seniors report a noticeable drop in joint pain and swelling when they remove bananas or only consume them occasionally. Next, consider anti-inflammatory alternatives. Berries, tart, cherries, papaya, and turmeric-spiced oatmeal can provide flavor, fiber, and antioxidant support without the inflammatory baggage. And remember, bananas may not be bad, but they may not be right for your body anymore, especially when joint health is already fragile. Your breakfast should heal, not hurt. In the next section, we'll reveal how bananas can mess with sleep hormones and nervous system signals, particularly when consumed early in the day, and why that can leave you feeling wired, tired, or even depressed later on. You've heard the phrase, "You are what you eat." But what if the way you eat a banana could be quietly speeding up your cellular aging, affecting your energy, skin memory, and even how long you live? Let's break this down. Every day, your body performs a delicate balancing act between oxidative stress and antioxidant defense. Oxidative stress is the byproduct of your cells using oxygen to generate energy. It's natural, but too much of it, especially as you age, leads to cell damage, inflammation, and a gradual breakdown of organ, skin elasticity, and even your DNA. Now here's the kicker. While bananas contain some antioxidants like dopamine and vitamin C, they're also high in sugar, particularly when fully ripe. And sugar, even from fruit, feeds oxidative stress when consumed without fiber, fat, or protein to slow the absorption. That spike in glucose can lead to a surge of advanced glycation end products, AGEs compounds that literally cause cells to rust from the inside out. AGEs damage collagen and elastin, the very fibers that keep your skin firm and your joints flexible. They also contribute to cognitive decline, heart disease, and vision loss, all key markers of aging in seniors. A study published in the Journal of Gerontology found that older adults with higher dietary sugar intake, even from fruits eaten improperly, showed more markers of mitochondrial slowdown, reduced skin hydration, and faster memory decline than those who balanced their sugar with protein or consumed low glycemic foods. And it doesn't stop at sugar. Bananas particularly, when overripe, trigger insulin-like growth factor 1, IGF-1 pathways. While IGF-1 is important for growth and repair, overactivation in older adults has been linked to accelerated aging, increased cancer risk, and metabolic dysfunction. That means if your breakfast banana is constantly triggering these growth signals without the appropriate recovery and antioxidant support, you're telling your body to burn fast, not last long. Let's also revisit inflammation, the silent killer behind most aging-related diseases. As we covered earlier, bananas can spike inflammation in some individuals through amines, sugar overload, and blood sugar instability. Chronic low-grade inflammation wears down telomeres, the protective caps on your DNA. When telomeres shorten, your cells lose their ability to replicate healthfully. This is one of the most well-documented biological signs of aging. So what can you do about it? If you're over 60, the goal isn't to fear bananas. It's to be strategic with them. Don't eat them first thing on an empty stomach. Don't combine them with other high glycemic foods like white bread cereal or fruit juice. Instead, pair them with healthy fats and antioxidants. A banana slice over plain Greek yogurt with walnuts, or blend it into a low-sugar smoothie with leafy greens and flaxseed. Even better, rotate your fruits. Try low-sugar, high antioxidant options like blueberries, raspberries, or kiwi, all of which nourish your cells rather than stress them. Aging is inevitable, but how you age, how you feel, move, think, and look is deeply connected to the choices you make each morning. And sometimes the smallest shift, like changing when and how you eat a banana, can create the biggest ripple in your vitality.